Hello and welcome everyone, and again we are welcoming you on this new session of your Precious Coach Learning CPD programs and offerings for all nurses, allied health professionals, as well as all licensed individuals that would just want to have more learnings that will go along their way. So again, this is a new set of discussions. Thank you very much for those who have been joining us for quite some time. Welcome back. And again, hopefully you will be able to get a lot of learning from this session that we're going to give you for today. For our new ones, welcome. And again, feel free to actually explore the site. There's a lot more learnings out there. You'll be more than happy to know that there would be offerings that would improve your capacities, your professional development, even your personal capacities. So feel free to look into it. And of course, the sweetest part of it, there would be CPD units that would be very useful in your progression, not just on the professional sense, but also on your personal day-to-day development. So again, welcome. This is again Coach Alan Gellangala, and today we are going to discuss more on the fundamentals of building resiliency for nurses. So we are going to understand grieving, burnouts, and how are you going to rise above it. So thank you very much again for coming here. Let me just introduce myself for you first. Yours truly is Alan Gellangala. I have been a nurse since 2008 and had been involved in a lot of deliveries in nursing, from clinical education, research, all the way up until recently, right now with my current capacity as a consultant. Yours truly is also a master trainer when it comes to the corporate sense, and I'm also an avid supporter when it comes to your mental health advocacy. I have been involved when it comes to leadership, coordination, as well as that of consultative support for more of your NGOs, as well as that of your public entities, wherein I started most of my career as a nurse, primarily on our rehabilitation centers, focusing on the development of our children in conflict with the law. So again, guys, welcome again. Enough about me, more of the case, as well as more of the course that would make you a better individual, more than that, of a better healthcare practitioner. So let's delve that deeper in what would be the objectives for this course. First things first, this is all about defining the importance of resilience, especially in the delivery of basic nursing care, and of course, preventing professional burnout. Who is not burnout right now, right? Right now, we are on the midst of a pandemic event that we haven't seen, actually. No one has seen this in our generation. There might be a little bit of a few individuals who were able to still survive or remember the Spanish flu outbreak, but that was the beginning of the 19th century. Right now, this is something that is challenging us more than our day-to-day capacities, our overall capability when it comes to your healthcare delivery system, our day-to-day capacity in becoming individuals of our own. Of course, we haven't experienced lockdown, right? We're actually people who are always on the go, and suddenly we get stuck. Everything stopped. Now, another thing that we are going to focus on is to build an understanding on the complexities of burnout, and of course, what would be it when it comes to caregiver strains, and how grieving plays a predominant thing during especially this pandemic crisis. Then we are also going to touch and classify effective activities and approaches that would build resilient character, more self-awareness, and an overall increase in your professional growth and personal capacity. Then, we're also going to develop sustainable behavior. When you're talking about sustainable behavior, of course, behavior that would last and would also ensure us to become a strong professional in terms of our own development and stronger acceptance of what it is in our profession. Then, of course, what is in here, okay? So there's a lot of things that is going to be discussed. One thing would be understanding the undisclosed grief associated with COVID. Every one of us is feeling it right now. You might say, oh no, I actually haven't seen that anytime soon or anytime in the last few weeks. No, it's not about it. It's not just about death. Everyone is affected. You're now going to lose your independence. Most of us might have lost a job or one thing. And of course, if you're a nurse and you're listening to me right now, you're seeing death in a very unprecedented level. And we're going to discuss and go deeper. What does it feels like? what does it brings us? What does it leads to ourselves as individuals? Then, of course, there will also be a discussion on the challenges brought by that persistent stress. Seeing death is not something that human beings are actually created for. You're not actually developed into someone who will continually see death, who will continually see suffering. So that is something that we are going to delve deeper. What are the challenges that is being brought by that persistent level of stress? There would also be a section, of course, about self-awareness and, of course, the fundamental capability on how are you going to maximize that ability of self-awareness. Keep in mind, in most cases, most nurses might have only gotten into the profession for the purpose of, of course, I will not mince the word, but a lot of nurses might actually be on the profession simply because of the promise of financial capacity. So who would not want to have dollars, pounds, rupees? What else are we looking at when it comes to monetary capacity? But nonetheless, you need to have that strong self-awareness. Because again, in the old montage as well as in the old motto that we're always placing, how can you care for another individual when you yourself have limitations with caring for your own personal sake? So those are the things that we're also going to discuss, and how are you going to maximize that self-awareness to improve your strengths and eliminate your weaknesses. Finally, we will have established activities that will actually help you build that resilience. We're also going to discuss more on how it's going to impact both the personal and professional development that you are going to undergo it as you move along with the profession. So, before we move forward, what would what else would be expected on this actual course? Of course, there would be learning a new perspective. In all of my classes, may it be live classes, may it be a coaching class, may it be most of our discussions when it comes to your classroom setup, I only have two rules. First rule is, of course, for you guys to be here at this moment, okay? Be here, imbibe the moment, connect with the learning. I know it's a little bit, or probably some of you might already have that itch or feeling to actually open a new window if you are on a laptop, or touch your cell phone and check the latest updates on your Facebook posts as well as that of your Facebook thread. Keep in mind, guys, learn for now. Okay? 1 hour, 2 hours may not be enough when it comes to your Facebook or whatever things that you might do, but believe me, 1 and 2 hours of learning will last a lifetime. So maximize this learning, and of course the second one is always take notes, okay? It's free to take notes. If you have that sticky pad on your laptop or on your tablet, that would be, let's say for example, a notepad or whatever it is that you're going to use. Feel free to take down notes, because there are some things that you might have only encountered today and some things that you might carry on, or those aha moments that you could maximize as we move along with our discussion. Then there would also be empowerment, especially on a personal and professional level, and there would be discoveries of personal strengths and revising those weaknesses and opportunity. And of course, even though we are going to delve on that very despairing concept of death, of letting go, or problems when it comes to loss, there would still be a fun reflection. So reflect, what is the impact of the learning primarily to you as a nurse? How is it going to move you forward? How is it going to make you develop into the best healthcare practitioner that you can be? Okay? So hopefully, you're still at the edge of your seat. You're actually still excited. I'm as excited as you are. Let's delve deeper and let's begin our course for today.